Hello everyone, this is Yaakuro with another UE4 tutorial. In this episode we will look into the UFUNCTION macro and cover the following specifiers: Blueprint Callable and BlueprintPure. What are the use cases now for those two specifiers? It's pretty simple. If you want to be able to call native C++ functions from the blueprint, we use one of those two specifiers. So using them exposes our functions to the blueprint. For example, using Blueprint Callable would create a blueprint node that is blue and has execution pins. So it will be executed if the input pin gets active. If we use BlueprintPure, then we will get this green node which has no execution pins and will be executed then only if necessary. Really important to note, to mention is that BlueprintPure can only be used with functions that are returning a value. So you could return a value just as a return value, or use a parameter and use and pass it as a reference. So that will be that will also be interpreted as a return value. So I don't like to talk too much about the purity of that function, but which is maybe really important to know. So with BlueprintPure, we are guaranteeing kind of that function is not going to change any internal state of that object or any global state. So make sure that if you use BlueprintPure that you don't change any variables. So use it for returning some values or calculating something like that depends only on the parameters, and you return the result as a return value. So I'm not going too much into the details about pure functions, so that would just be too much for this episode. Feel free to check the web for that. Unfortunately we cannot really guarantee it, so be careful in using BlueprintPure. So let's make an example or multiple examples. Let's say we have a function do something that is doing something, and what it does is just logging something into the terminal. Woohoo! Do something. So let's compile. Oh wait, no, don't compile, we forgot. We want to be able to call this from the blueprint, right? So UFUNCTION blueprint callable. Let's do this first. Yeah, should be okay. No typo, I think. So let's go to the editor. Let's create the blueprint. And in here, make sure you have opened this output log tab. If not, go to Window, Developer Tools, and Output Log, because we are writing something into the output log. And now let's drag this actor into the level. Now we will call our do something node. That is directly calling executing our C++ function. Start, and you can see here do something. So it is calling directly our function. Cool. Now let's make a second one, and here we use BlueprintPure, and as I said, it needs a return value. Save it. BlueprintPure, do something else. Let's implement this, and here let's return just the value 1.5. Why not? You can come up with better ideas for your function. I'm sure you will find out immediately which functions you need for your actor classes and interfaces and whatnot. So now for do something else, we're using the BlueprintPure, so which is going to be this green node, no execution pins. And because we're just returning just a static value, so it is pure, this function. Do something else. And by the way, I really recommend you to use categories here. So I didn't use it, so don't do as I do. Put here always the category tag and categorize your functions so you can find them faster in this context search. Yeah, but it's of course up to you. I'll use it usually. So now we have this green do something, this a green node, and it will be executed if necessary, as I said. So we want to print out that value, so it will be executed. This time we will see this on the viewport. So what was it? 1.5. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we have to make sure it has a return value. We could have also done this. So let me show this. Void float as a reference, and then let's say value. Void float value, something like that. Let's compile. And of course you cannot use here const float because you're saying it's a const value, so you cannot change it. So it shouldn't be const, the reference you're passing. But I'm sure you guys know that. I don't have to teach you that. Yep. So, oops, I'll do something else. So as you can see, still the same. So, and if we start 1.5. Now there is one thing I will show you now that might surprise you or not. That is about blueprint callable, and if that function is const and has a return value. Blueprint callable. So let's use f string. Doesn't matter, I could have used a float too. And I'm saying this is a const. Do something awesome. So here we return, oops, return. Why not? Return is good too. Hello world. So now we have this blueprint callable specifier, and we use it on a function that is const. And now you will see how this node is going to look like. something else. Yeah, const should be okay. Maybe I should start using the pause button here. But sometimes we should just chill. Doesn't have to be full of stress the whole video. Okay, so now do something awesome. And what do we see now? It's a green node. It's like this BlueprintPure. Okay, there's a small difference here, and it is actually BlueprintPure. So the Unreal Header tool, if I'm not wrong, it will interpret a BlueprintCallable function, specifier that is used on a function that has a return value and it is a const, will interpret it as BlueprintPure. So that means we get this green node, and that will be executed if necessary. So it has no execution pins. I didn't know that for a long time. That was really interesting. Never so while I was programming so many things, never saw that node coming or never realized so directly. That was interesting. Anyway, so we can start and then we see hello world. Now, the thing is, if you want those execution pins for this BlueprintCallable node in new versions of Unreal Engine, and that's now a tip from me, you can use the BlueprintPure specifier together with BlueprintCallable, and you say equals false. And if you do so and compile again and wait around 15 seconds, then you will see what's going to happen to this node. Okay, this takes a while. Et voila. And you can see, so what we did is we disabled this automatic interpretation of the BlueprintCallable node to a pure, and we can use this now as a BlueprintCallable node with execution pins. And this will still work. Start hello world. Okay, yeah, maybe you knew that already. If not, hopefully you know now how to do that. Or if you encounter this in the Unreal Engine code, then you will know now what it's doing. So that's it for this episode. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave me a comment. Other than that, thanks for watching and hopefully seeing you in the next episode.